It's me again, Carol Lindsay. All right, we're going to talk for a few minutes about Terrazyme. Now, Terrazyme has been a huge game changer for my life. I struggled with digestive issues for so many years, and I just wish somebody had given me a bottle of Terrazyme 20 years ago because I could have missed out on all the pain that I had for 20 years. That's how powerful Terrazyme is. Okay, it will change your life. Just change your life in so many ways. We're going to focus on digestion right now and Terrazyme for the digestive system. So if you have not taken any Terrazyme today, grab your Terrazyme packet. I want you to make sure you have it the next time that you eat. And you're going to take one or two. Start it with one right before you eat. Now, if you forget, take it while you're eating. And if you forgot and it's after the meal, go ahead and take it, right? Ideally, you're going to take it before you eat. So I'm going to spend some extra time at the end of this video really diving in because I think digestive health is so critical. And most people just don't understand digestive health and why it's so important and why it kind of like rules all of your health. So we're going to dive a little deeper today because I think it's so important. I don't want you to miss it, right? You're here. Let's learn as much as you can. So nearly, I think it's like 1 in 3 people experience some kind of digestive problems, right? That's a lot of people in our world. And 70 to 80% of your immune system lies in your gut. If you didn't know that, right? That's important. That's where your immune system is stored, or is where it's controlled from. And most of our serotonin is also formed in our gut. Serotonin is our happy hormones. So you can see a couple important things happen there, along with hormones and all kinds of stuff. We're going to focus on these. So gut health is a huge player, right? In your immune function, in your stress levels, in your mental health, really your overall health. That's because digestion is the foundation of your health, okay? The gut plays a vital role in your overall health, your overall well-being. So the better we digest our foods, the more nutrients we're going to have, right? The possibility of just absorbing and using, and we're going to more optimally remove waste, okay? So every cell in your body depends on certain enzymes, okay? Without enzymes, nothing in the body would work. So as we age, our bodies just don't have the ability to produce them anymore. That's why our digestive health, typically tends to decline as we get older, and so we have to supplement. Another reason we have to supplement is because most of our food that we eat is enzyme deficient. So if we aren't getting it from our food and we're not supplementing with it, the digestive system's probably not working as it could, right? As it was created to work. So some typical benefits of enzyme supplementation are just reduced digestive distress, increased energy. About 80% of your body's vital energy is spent on digestion. So if you can help the digestive system work easier, you can free up enormous amounts of energy, right? Another huge benefit of enzyme supplementation is improved regularity, right? You should be having a movement at least once or twice every day. I meet people all the time that don't do that, and that's part of probably why you might feel bad. So this will help speed up that function to regulate it to be working like it's supposed to, okay? So Terrazyme, as I mentioned, was such a huge game changer for me. I had constipation, a lot of gas, a lot of bloating. I would often go to bed looking like I was pregnant. I was so bloated. It was so painful. So if you've experienced that, there's hope for you, okay? I've been there. So Terrazyme, again, 1 to 2 for each meal, that completely changed that situation for me, the circumstance that I was in. So Terrazyme comes in, it breaks down your food into teeny tiny particles and makes it really easy for the body to use all that good stuff that's from your food, help you remove all the bad stuff. And if you suffer from like leaky gut, which is what I learned that I had, it means if your gut should be like a tight mesh, and when it's not, and the reason that mesh the holes get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And then what you're eating leaks into your bloodstream. And that happens from antibiotics, birth control, food that we eat, all the chemicals, GMOs, all the stuff we've done all our life, right? And so as that happens, then your body starts to respond. And so the Terrazyme breaks that into like teeny tiny particles. So if it does get into the bloodstream, that inflammatory response isn't so strong. It is something that we need to correct, and Terrazyme is going to be a piece of that. But this should ease those symptoms that you get, okay? Now, if you're still experiencing some kind of tummy upset or maybe reflux or whatnot here and there, that's when your Digestive Essential Oil blend will come in, right? That'll help with great relief. You can even take a drop of digestion essential oil in your mouth and swallow it, with a little bit of water, along with your Terrazyme before a meal. That's just some added support, okay? But Terrazyme is a wide spectrum of enzymes. It helps break down the food. And taking food enzymes is one of the most essential things you can do for your body. All right. So again, 1 to 2 before each meal. If you forget it and you remember during your meal, take it then. If you remember afterwards, take it then. And that's how you're going to use it. So that was just kind of a basic. If you want to hang on with me, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper just in digestive health and some other things that it affects. Okay. So you learned your basic. If you want the deep dive, hang on with me. All right, so when you address your digestion and maybe food sensitivities with gut support, this really reduces the inflammation and the histamine in the gut. Okay, so taking Terrazyme is a great way to help address like candida overgrowth. It goes in there and eats up all that yeast, okay, and helps with the histamine response in the gut. So Terrazyme breaks down those proteins, the fats, the starches, right? So if you look at the back, you don't have a bottle. If you were to look it up, and we could send you a picture of the back of the bottle. It has all the ingredients in it, okay? And so it has protein. I won't name them all. They really make sense, right? I can name them all for you, but I'll tell you what they do. They help break down carbohydrates, sugars, proteins. There is a gluten enzyme in here, okay? So those are great, but what's interesting, as I mentioned, is after age 25, we start producing the amount of enzymes that we need to produce in order for the digestive system to work appropriately. All right. The other thing that can stop enzymes from producing in the body is adverse, maybe childhood events. So if you had a lot of trauma, or if you feel a lot of trauma right now, or a lot of anxiety, and you feel that in your gut, those emotions that you're feeling have a direct response on your digestive system. So what's great about Terrazyme is that it really adds just some plant-based enzymes into your diet, especially for foods that don't already carry them. And help even with that, help you with your emotions. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. Now, some foods carry their own enzymes, like raw fruits and vegetables. And when you eat fruits and vegetables and raw things, those naturally have enzymes. The foods that are processed or cooked, they don't carry their own enzymes. So if you're eating those kinds of foods, or if you're older than 25, right, or you have food sensitivities, or you have had adverse trauma, then this is a really great supplement. Okay, which is something you probably fit into one or all of those categories. And we're all eating cooked food. Like, I don't eat a lot of raw fruits and vegetables. We eat a lot of cooked food. So the other cool thing about this enzyme is that it has a little bit of hydrochloric acid in it, which is going to help break down your food. So some people with digestive problems have low stomach acid, and that's how they actually get heartburn, okay? That's why they get acid reflux. It's because of low stomach acid, not high stomach acid like you would think. So what this does is it just helps a little bit. It has a little bit of hydrochloric acid in it, which helps with digestion. I actually haven't seen many other enzymes or any other enzymes with the combination that we have. Maybe that's why it works so well for me. Because when you combine all these together, it's a really phenomenal formula. Okay, it's got peppermint, ginger, and caraway that are also going to help with digestion. And those are some really powerful oils that help with the digestion. So not only is it going to help soothe the digestive issues, right, it's going to help with immune system threats. So it helps with digestive pathways, right? Now, your digestive system is a detox pathway, and it's going to help also with the respiratory pathway. So you might be thinking like, well, how? That we're talking about the digestive system. But it helps with the respiratory pathway in somebody with allergies or respiratory issues or any kind of respiratory issues, because our primary detox pathways are the digestive system, the liver, intestines, kidneys, right? And the second detox pathway is our skin and our respiratory system. So if you have some problems with your skin in your respiratory system, it's probably because your primary detox pathways just aren't working right. So enzymes in our body are literally like life force. Okay? They're so essential for all the processes in the body, all the metabolic processes. And what's really interesting is that GMO foods, especially in our country, GMO means it's been genetically modified, right? They have like herbicides and pesticides in them. My phone's going crazy over here. Pesticides in them. And that's what's really bad with those. So especially like glyphosate, how you say it. Is that it downregulates over about 291 enzymatic processes in our body. And that's just really tragic for our body, right? So kids and adults and everybody eating GMO foods, they don't have those enzymatic processes happening in the body. So, and enzymes are like the merry-go-round of the body. Okay, they're the life way for just those deep expressways of digestion, especially. And then these GMO foods cause so much inflammation. So this all affects the mood, right? It all affects the mood too, because we have so much excess inflammation in the gut and the histamine. And it directly affects our brain. Okay, our gut and our brain are connected. So it affects our focus and our brain chemistry. So not only are we greatly impacting and helping the gut when we use Terrazyme, we are getting rid of that gas and that bloating and that constipation and all those digestive things we think of. But you can see we're also impacting so many other areas of the body, right? So when it comes to our skin, a lot of people have skin concerns. Your skin, what's coming out on your skin, because it's a detox pathway, is a direct reflection of what's going on in your gut. So if you have skin issues, if you have eczema or acne or whatever other skin issues there are, when you address your gut, you might find that those skin issues get relieved. Okay, and we want to help you get relief from lots of things this week, right? So the brain, that connection with the gut and the brain is, when we were created, they were actually created in one cell and they split into like twins, right? And then they were separated, but they actually stayed together through what's called our vagus nerve. So the stomach and the brain are still connected, okay? There are more pathways in the gut than in the brain. So everything that talks to the stomach talks to the brain. So if you have excess histamine in the gut because you have food sensitivities that maybe you aren't addressing, or maybe you don't even know you have them, right? It can cause inflammation in the brain and cause head tension and cognitive issues. And so all of these things are related, right? So what's happening in the gut affects the whole body. So everybody's gonna do better with enzymes. Sometimes I find with people who have migraines or head tension issues, when we start addressing their gut, that gets relieved. So that you can see the digestive system is not just how your stomach feels, right? It affects all these other parts of the body. So that addressing the digestive system and the gut health is just a critical piece to our overall health and well-being. Okay. That was long enough, but I wanted to give you, if you want a deeper dive, that was a deeper dive into a little bit more into digestive health and Terrazyme and how Terrazyme supports the body. All right, I hope you have a fabulous day. If you have any questions about Terrazyme, let us know. Comment on here how you used your Terrazyme today, or maybe something you learned or question or whatnot, to be entered into the giveaway for today. Becca is going to hop on and tell you about that giveaway today, about the blend that she is creating, and it's really fabulous and it's beautiful. So catch Becca when she goes live about the blend for the giveaway today. All right, hope you had an awesome day. See you later.